What is up, YouTube? Mike Raj back here. Today is part 2 of the Yamaha Yamaha TTR 125. There you go. Part 2 of this. You got the engine all taken apart. I'm gonna fix the timing on it because I have it wrong. And then I have gasket kit coming in today, the gaskets. And then if you guys know from last episode, there was literally no gaskets on here, and it's also missing 2 bolts that go from like here down. We're gonna get that done today. And if we have time, I'm going to look through my bolts and stuff, see if I can get the clutch hooked up, and see if we can get it riding today. But that's about it. Let's get into this. I'm going to tear this down and then put the timing back correctly. Alright, so we just got these in the mail as the leak down tester and all the gaskets. I'm going to take everything off of that. I'm missing some bolts, so I can't quite put everything back together right. But I'm going to get everything put back together the best as possible, tighten things down, put these gaskets on, and then check for compression again. If we don't have compression, I'm going to do a leak down test. But let's get straight into that. Just wanted to show you guys this real quick. I'm taking the engine apart. I got the top off, all the bolts out or whatever. But the piston looks basically brand new. Like, it looks like they just did a top end rebuild. All this looks brand new. All this looks brand new compared to this. I'm going to get this taken off. Then I'll fix the timing after. But, you know, to take this off, whatever, you just take off these top bolts. And then you got to take off this one bolt that is right through here. You got to take off that bolt, and this just comes loose. And then you can take the top end off. All this looks fine. None of the valves are wiggly or nothing. So, there's supposed to be a gasket right here, like a metal one. Gasket there and then gasket down here. I'm going to take this off real quick and show you guys that there's not even a gasket on the lower part. So I can do this one-handed. Yep. Just go ahead and take that off. Put that down with that. Now I could just take this off. I don't know if I can slide it out one-handed, but this comes off just like this. I'm going to set the phone down real quick, take this off, and show you guys. Alright, now that that is off, there's no cracks in this, no nothing like that. Piston looks pretty fine. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It still moves perfectly fine. But as you can see, there's no gasket on here or on here. Gaskets are just completely missing from the top end. And then to check timing on these, you have these little marks right here. You want to get this front notch one lined up with this part up here. So right about, turn this and right about there would be top dead center. And then, you know, piston, I mean, chain looks fine. Everything looks basically super fine. And it looks like literally a brand new top end. I do see some coloring going on in the bottom end. All back together. I don't see anything bad going on besides burn marks, like coloring right there. Like, I don't know if you guys see that, but there's coloring. I'm gonna get that done. Let me get this chain out of here, and then I'll put gaskets on. So I got everything back together. This new gasket's on. I just got the timing set up properly. I'm not gonna, where is it? Where'd I put it? I could change this O-ring that's on here, because it did come with new ones. Oh, don't worry, I'll pick up all the trash, don't worry about that. It did come with new ones. I don't know if I want to change it though. This one seems fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this O-ring on here though. If this is my first time ever rebuilding an engine, it honestly is pretty fun, but it's kind of been a pain. I got these gaskets on too. Where you see that little green gasket on there, and then I got the metal gasket on that one right there. You can see that. Got those gaskets on there. I'll spin it over and it has compression. I can feel it when I'm turning it. It actually has something now. So I'm going to get this back on, and then we're going to open up my compression tester, test the compression. If it doesn't have compression, or if it loses it, then we'll use my brand new leak down tester. Alright, I'm just getting it all back together, got this back on. What I need to buy is a second one of these 8 mils. I don't know if you guys can see that, my camera's pretty blurry, but a second 8 mil that goes over here. And then a few of these that cover that. And I think that's it. I don't have a torque wrench. I can't find it. If you guys are doing this and you're following after me, these are supposed to be 16 foot-pounds. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4 as 16 foot-pounds, and that you get those all torqued down. I don't know where the torque wrench is, so I'm just gonna kind of, you know, ooga dooga it. Probably not what I should do. I need to get the chain tensioner back on, the cam chain tensioner. I'm gonna put that back on. Get all this put back together, and this bolt right here is for the clutch. It's like a bracket thing. I think I found a bolt that'll work. Let me see. This one. I think this will work, the size. If that starts threading, then I'll just cut the bolt down, but that seems like it'll work. It's supposed to go back in here and then thread back here. I hope it's not stripped, because if that's stripped, then I literally don't have a clutch, so I can't use the engine. But let's get this put back on, and I'll cut back to you guys after we got the other gasket put on, which is this side over here, which is that blue gasket right up there. I'll cut back after we get that on, and this all put down nicely, and, you know, I'll come back. The moment of truth, everyone. Got the engine back in, carburetor back on. I gotta put the carburetor slide on. I'm going to attach the compression tester. If you guys don't know how to use one of these, you get the right size bit that matches your spark plug. Take off your spark plug, screw it in right there, and then quick connect it. And then right here it'll tell you your compression. You full throttle it. You have to have the carburetor connected. So you full throttle it, hold it open, you kick it over a couple times, and then it'll tell you your compression. If you have nothing, you might need to rebuild it. So moment of truth, I'm going to get that on, and then I'm going to compression test it, and I'll show you guys after. Okay, we have something going on that I personally have no clue what it is. So compression tester's hooked up. Right, hooked up, zeroed out, there's no air in it. Right, I full throttle it. Now I go to kick it a few times, kick it a few times. It still feels loose, go check that. Nothing, right? No compression, nothing at all. But, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Is that out of the air filter? Something is like blowing air out. I don't know, I think it might be coming out of the intake. Could that be time? No, timing's perfect. I put timing. Could it be too loose, like the valve's too loose, or do I need to get a new valve? Because if I don't know if it's coming out of this though. I'm gonna do a leak down test. Because if I cover this, about that, but I don't know if it's coming out of this or if it's coming out of the filter. That I can't tell. Because listen, it really sounds like the filter. It sounds like it's hissing out of the filter, like the valve is not good. Or is that this? I'm gonna put a leak down tester on it. Let's run a leak down test and figure this out. Wait, what do leak down tests show? Are these on good? Yeah, those are on good. It sounds like it's hissing out of the intake. I think it's the intake. Oh yeah, 100% it's the intake. It's leaking out of the intake, so I'm just gonna assume that is a intake manifold valve that I gotta fix. Damn it, I really thought it was filters. It was filters though. As you guys can't tell, it was filters. I put filters and now it's actually hissing out of there. So to get compression on it, I gotta fix valves, intake valves. That sucks, that really does suck. That sucks. Okay, well, I mean, at least it sounds like it's only coming out of here. Nothing out of the crankcase or exhaust. Which is good, but intake valve is fucked up. So, I'm gonna go ahead, buy intake valves, and then, well, there'll be a part 3 of this. Thank you guys for watching this, though. Part 3 is coming soon. I just gotta buy intake valves and Google this. I'm gonna Google it. Thank you guys for watching so much. Part 3 is coming soon.